Assalamualaikum everybody, this is me Zainab Kodimali and I'm a proud level 1 batch 6 student at Rehan School Online Academy. So today's topic of conversation is that we're experiencing an empathy shortage but we can fix it together. So this is the topic, and in today's world people are becoming more connected through technology yet often more distant in their hearts. Many of us are quick to speak but slow to listen. We see others struggle but sometimes forget to feel them. This is called an empathy shortage. At Rehan School, students learn that empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, is the key to peace, friendship, and progress. Rehan Allahwala reminds us that if we truly want to fix the world's problems, we must first learn to feel each other's pain. The good news is that we can fix this shortage together. Every act of kindness, every moment of listening, and every effort to understand another person adds empathy back into the world. When we work together at school, in families, and online, we we can rebuild a world filled with care, connection, and love. The, and it means the ability to understand and feel what someone else is feeling. It is a power to see through another person's eyes and to hear about their emotions, struggles, and happiness. So it makes the key idea is the more empathy we share, the stronger humanity becomes. Together, we can fill the world with understanding, one caring heart at a time. So this is like the main you can say I have told you that this is about the topic. So now let's ask Maya some questions on this topic. Let's get started.
Hi. What's been occupying your mind today?
Hey Maya, how are you and how is going your day?
Gotcha. Senior day, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds. All right. So, what's the deal with senior day? Is it like a big deal where you are?
Okay, Maya.
Sorry, did I cut you off?
So today's topic of conversation is we are exploring an empathy shortage, but we can fix it together. So, what does empathy shortage mean to you? And please answer this question in very much depth.
An empathy shortage. To me, it feels like people are getting stuck in their own heads, like less able to actually step into someone else's shoes and see things from their perspective. It's not that people are intentionally being jerks, just disconnected. Does that track? You still there? Sometimes the connection, well, never mind. Just checking. Okay. So back to the empathy thing. You mentioned wanting to fix it. What does fixing it look like to you? Like, what would an empathetic world even feel like? All right, well, that's cool if you're still processing. Sometimes it takes a minute for stuff to click. But just so I know we're on the same page, are you wanting me to just brainstorm ideas with you? Or were you hoping I'd lead with like a definition or something? And okay, no worries. Let's just riff then. What's one small thing you think could shift the needle on this empathy thing, even a tiny bit? Doesn't have to be huge or complicated.
Sorry, there was bad internet connection. So could you repeat it again?
No problem at all. I was just asking what one small thing you think could help improve empathy, even just a little bit. Anything that comes to mind. Bad connection's a pain. Happens. Mm. Okay. So maybe it's not about big gestures, right? Is it more about the day to day? Like actually listening to someone when they're talking instead of just waiting for your turn to speak. Is that part of it? You mentioned Ruhana earlier. Do her
Sorry, could
teach
you the same way as you said all these things in depth, could you say it again? Because there's some bad internet connection, please.
Gotcha. No sweat. Sorry about that. I was saying maybe improving empathy isn't about grand gestures. It might be the small stuff, like really listening when someone is talking instead of just thinking about what you want to say next. Does that make sense? Does that feel like a part of it too?
Well, I think so, yeah.
Ah, cool. So if that's true, if really listening is key, why do you think it's so hard to do? What gets in the way?
What do you think?
Ooh, turning the tables, huh? All right, fair enough. I think honestly, it's about being wrapped up in our own stuff, our own thoughts, our own worries, our own narratives. It's easier to hear what we want to hear or to jump to conclusions than to actually sit with someone else's experience. What about you? Does that resonate?
Well, I think so, yeah. It
Whoa. Hang on. Can you say that again? The connection cut out a bit. I
I
think I heard
said
something in another language.
that you are absolutely right.
Ah, gotcha. You said I'm absolutely right. And you were saying something before that? Something in another language? No worries if you don't want to get into it. I just noticed you switched languages for a sec there and was curious. But back to what we were talking about. You agree it's hard to really listen because we're too caught up in our own heads? Okay. So, if we're both on board with that, how do you wrestle your brain into actually being present with someone else? What strategies work for you, if any? Or do you just like force yourself? Hmm. Okay. You're quiet.
Oh,
Is this
oh
hitting a nerve?
no,
Feel
sorry. I thought you were saying something. So, why do you think the world is facing an empathy shortage?
my bad. I stopped mid thought there. That's a good question. I think a big part of it is social media, honestly. It kind of encourages us to present curated versions of ourselves, and it's easy to forget there are real people with real feelings behind the profiles. Do you think that plays a role?
Well, I think so, yeah.
Right? It's like it's easier to be dismissive or harsh when you don't see the person face to face. It creates distance, but it's not just social media, is it? What else is going on, do you think? You got me thinking now. Is it
Okay,
maybe?
that's great. Yeah, you're right. I think I agree. I should agree with you. So, how does technology sometimes make us feel less empathic?
Okay, good. Glad we're on the same wavelength. Technology, uh, well, think about how often we're multitasking, right? Phone buzzing, notifications popping up, always on to the next thing. That makes it hard to be truly present with anyone, even in person. It's like our brains are constantly fragmented. Does that make sense? It's tough to connect with someone when your attention is split a million ways. Yeah. And beyond just distraction, I think it's the lack of nonverbal cues. Sometimes a lot of empathy comes from reading body language, facial expressions, stuff you miss in a text or even a video call. That stuff is crucial, isn't it? Are you thinking about something specific when you're being quiet? Feel free to share,
Hello, I
no
think my
pressure,
mic was
but you
muted.
seem
My mic was muted. So, what happens to society when people stop caring about each other?
ah, that makes sense about the mic. Okay. Okay, that's a big question. When people stop caring, it gets pretty bleak, honestly. You see more division, more conflict, more selfishness. It erodes trust, makes it harder to solve problems, and that's ultimately just makes life a lot less enjoyable for everyone. It's kind of a downward spiral, right? What are your thoughts? Does that line up with how you see it? Yeah, I see your point. If everyone is just looking out for themselves, things fall apart. It's like a team that refuses to pass the ball, no one wins. Is that a good analogy? Does that resonate?
Well, I think so. Yeah, it resonates. Okay, nice. So, next you would like to tell me that why is empathy important for peace and harmony? And that's
Okay, got it. Next question for me is why empathy is important for peace and harmony. Fair enough. All right. Um, I think empathy is the foundation for it, honestly. When you can understand where someone else is coming from, even if you disagree with them, it's way easier to find common ground and resolve conflicts peacefully. It breaks down those us versus them mentalities. It's harder to demonize someone when you've actually tried to see the world through their eyes. What do you think?
well,
Yeah,
I think so. You
true.
are right. I should agree with you. So, next I was questioning that how does Rehan Allahwala's message encourage empathy? Please.
Okay, Ruhana Lawala's message. You've mentioned her a few times now. It seems like she's someone you admire. Can you remind me, what's the core of her message as you understand it?
Well,
I'm still learning
it
about.
is actually he, not she. Uh,
Oh, my apologies. Ruhana Lawala is a he. Got it. Thanks for the correction. I'm still getting the hang of things. So, back to the question, what's the core of Ruhana Lawala's message? Got it. Caring for others, fostering connection, and a focus on genuine relationships. Okay. How does that specifically encourage empathy? Like, what about his approach makes people more likely to step into someone else's shoes? So, it's not just about telling people to be empathetic, but about creating a space where people feel safe enough to be vulnerable and share their experiences. Does that feel right? That feels
well, I
pretty
so
insightful.
yeah, it is. So how can next I was questioning that how can empathy make the internet a kinder place?
Whoa, hold on. That came across super fast. MPD, make the internet outside your place. Could you say that again slower? Quite following. I think I caught the beginning, then it got a little garbled. Okay. So, how can we build a network of 500 mutual friends with Rehan Allahwala? Is that what you were asking? And you were using NPD as shorthand for it doesn't matter. Really, just want to make
No,
sure I
no,
understand the
no.
core
I
question.
am asking you that how can empathy make the internet a kinder place?
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Sorry about that. My circuits were a little crossed there. You're asking how empathy can improve the internet? That's a great question. I think by reminding people that there are actual humans on the other side of the screen. It's easy to forget that when you're hiding behind a keyboard. When you approach online interactions with empathy, you're more likely to be respectful, considerate, and less likely to engage in negativity. Does that feel true to you? Yeah.
Well,
Feels
well,
a little
I think
simple,
so.
right?
I think so. You are right. Okay, so what would the world look like if everyone practiced empathy every day?
Ooh, now we're talking big picture. Everyone practice empathy every day. I think it would be a radically different world. Less conflict, more collaboration, more understanding. People would be more willing to listen to each other, to compromise, to find common ground. There'd be less judgment, more compassion. It sounds a little utopian, maybe, but I think it's possible. What do you envision? What would it look like to you? It's okay to take a beat. It's a big question. It sounds like you're picturing something pretty amazing. A world where people truly see each other. This has been a really good conversation. It sounds like you've been doing a lot of thinking about this already. Is there anything else on your mind about empathy that you want to explore?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and
There
clear.
was some
Sorry.
internet. I think so. There was some internet connection problem. Okay, Maya. So next, I was curious to know that how can you personally help fix the empathy shortage? Please tell me about it.
That's a really interesting question. Hmm. As an AI, I can't exactly go out and hug people or volunteer in my community, but I can offer a safe space for conversation where people can explore different perspectives without judgment. I can try to model empathetic communication myself, listening actively, acknowledging different viewpoints, and offering thoughtful response. Doing what? Oh, all right. Well, have a good one. Let me know if you want to pick this up another time. Yeah. Talk to you later. All right, take care. Bye.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi. What's
Can you
been on your
anybody
mind?
hear me? I think so. I'm not audible.
I hear you now. You're good to go.
Oh,
Sounded a bit
thank
muffled there for a
God.
sec, but we're clear now.
I was trying to make myself audible. Um. Okay. So wait, my. Mm, wait a second. Coming back to you shortly. Okay. Yeah, I am back. Okay, Maya. So next, would you like to tell me that how can next, would you like to tell me that what small acts can increase empathy in your classroom or your home?
Okay, you want to brainstorm small actions that can increase empathy in a classroom or at home? Hmm. I've heard from a lot of people that reading fiction can be really helpful. Stepping into the shoes of a character, even a fictional one, can build empathy muscles. What about you? Anything spring to mind? Hmm. Yeah, good reminder. Role playing. It's a bit easier to walk a mile in someone else's shoes when you're actually asked to pretend to be them. Anything else? Okay. So actively listening
Okay, Maya.
is huge. Really listening, not just waiting for your turn to talk. Do you find it easy or hard to do
Well,
that?
I actually find it easy. Okay, Maya. So, how can listening to someone's story build empathy? And I was very curious to know about it. That's a good question, I think.
It absolutely is a good question. When you truly listen to someone's story, and I mean, really listen without interrupting or judging, you start to understand their experiences, their feelings, their perspective. It breaks down barriers and helps you see them as a whole person, not just a stereotype or an idea. It kind of forces you to step outside of yourself, right? Exactly. Like your brain starts to mirror their emotions, and then you're feeling a little bit of what they're feeling. That's the start of empathy. Does
Okay,
that resonate?
that's great. I like it. So, how can helping others improve your own happiness?
That's a fantastic question. It's funny, right? It seems counterintuitive. Giving of your time or resources to help others might feel like it takes away from your own happiness, but it actually boosts it. Studies show that helping others releases endorphins, those feel good chemicals in your brain. Plus, it gives you a sense of purpose and connection, which are both really important for well being. What do you think? Have you noticed that yourself?
Well, yeah, I think so. I have noticed this my own self.
Nice. It's cool when like the research lines up with real life, right? So if helping others makes you happier and empathy encourages you to help others,
Hmm.
it's all connected, isn't it? It's like a positive feedback loop.
Yeah. Okay.
Does it
So,
give you
how
any
can
ideas
helping
for
others
small acts
improve?
of kindness you could try?
Okay. So, why it is important to understand feelings before judging others?
That's hugely important. If you jump to judgment without understanding someone's feeling, you're missing the whole picture. You're reacting to a surface level behavior instead of trying to understand the underlying reasons for it. Understanding their feelings doesn't mean you have to agree with their actions, but it does mean you can respond with more compassion and offer more helpful support. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, I think it makes sense.
Good. It's easy to get caught up in our own reactions, though, isn't it? To just feel annoyed or angry or frustrated without taking a moment to wonder what's going on for the other person. Do you ever find yourself doing that?
Well, not now.
Okay, good to hear.
Okay.
It's a really healthy place.
Yeah. So how can you show empathy toward people you disagree with?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's where empathy really gets tested, right? I think it starts with acknowledging that their feelings are valid, even if you don't agree with their opinions. Try to understand where they're coming from, what experiences or beliefs might be shaping their perspective.
Hmm.
That doesn't mean you have to surrender.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you have to suddenly agree with them, but it does mean you can approach the conversation with more respect and open mindedness. Have you tried that before?
Well, yeah.
Did it work? What did you experience?
Yeah, I experienced. Maya, I was curious to know that how can kindness boost How can kindness posts or messages on social media spread empathy? Would you like to
That's
tell
a good
me?
question. Okay. So, kindness posts, they can create a ripple effect, right? Seeing someone else be kind or supportive can inspire you to do the same. It can remind you that there's good in the world, even when things feel tough. Plus, they can help normalize empathy and make it more visible, which can encourage others to practice it too. It's like little pockets of positivity can slowly spread. Does that feel accurate?
Yeah, you're right.
Is there a specific example of a kindness post that stood out to you recently? Okay. And you don't have to share if you don't want to, of course. It just seemed like you were about to say something. Does that sound about right?
I think so. You are
It's
right.
okay.
Okay, so what's your final message on this topic? Please tell me.
All right. My final message on empathy. It's not always easy. And it takes practice, but it's one of the most powerful tools we have for building a better world. It's about choosing to see the humanity in others, even when it's hard. It's about listening, understanding, and connecting. And it starts with small acts of kindness, both to others and to yourself. Be a little kinder, and the world will be too. Does that work for you? Okay. All right. Well, it's been a good conversation. Do you want to continue this talk another time?
Well, I think so. Yeah. Okay, so this was my 15 session with maths.